Adaba 88.9 FM.
So in 1992, Gary Chapman wrote a book called The Five Love Languages, How to Express Heartfelt Communication to Your Mate. What the book is simply about is about the five love languages, how to show love and how to understand your partner's love language. And that is what we'll be talking about on today's edition of Pace, Love and Family, to help you understand, sometimes you show love to your partner and they don't really see it as love. So for your love to get to the person you're showing it to, you need to understand their love language. So that is why we'll be talking about understanding your own love language and your partner's love language on today's edition of Pace, Love and Family. My name is Temidayo Daniels and Olajumoke is on the program.
Yeah, the way and manner you communicate your love to your partner goes a long way in strengthening your relationship. So what's your love language?
Okay, so Ifeanyi was there last week. Ifeanyi's around this afternoon as well. Yeah, Ifeanyi, you're welcome on the program.
Thanks for having me.
He's back from maternity leave?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have Tinola on the show as well. How are you doing? And Tolukolade, he calls himself Tico.
Thank you for having me.
He's on the show as well. Yeah. Okay, so let me start from the man. Tolu is not married, by the way, and Tinola is not married as well. So we're just married to three married people against two unmarried people on the show this afternoon. So we're all going to be talking about the topic and, sharing our own opinion about what we're talking about. Let me start from Tolu.
Okay.
What do you understand by love language?
All right. Love languages are the ways that people receive receive love and the way that they express love as well. So your love language basically means that there's a way people react to you or expresses love to you that you appreciate more. There are some things that you may do to me that I may not appreciate. I may not see it as love, as it were. But if you do some certain things, they would press a button in me, the love button, and I will respond. Exactly. So for instance, I may be the kind of person that you buy gifts. If you like, give me the whole world. And it doesn't really mean much to me. Not because I don't know that you're trying to do something nice to me, but that's not the way I read love. Maybe the way I read love is just a word of affirmation. Just tell me that I'm looking good. And then my brain begins to tingle. So that's the way I read my love language. So people have different love languages. And the reason I believe we're looking at this today is that not everybody understands the love language of their partner. And the moment you understand their love languages, you'll be able to key them down with the proper or most appropriate way to express love to them, so you don't use the wrong formula.
Okay. So, like you said, for instance, some people don't like the touchy thing. Exactly. If you touch them, they don't really like it. They appreciate love in other ways. So let me talk to you, Fine. What do you understand by love language?
For me, love language is a form of communication in marriage. It keeps your emotional life alive in marriage. Okay. Like he said, especially when he mentioned the part of gifts. Gifts doesn't tickle my fancy now.
You don't like gifts? That's not love language.
No.
Just because you're married.
Yes.
The language of love for you as a married is quite different from what
are you saying that people that are married don't?
They
not everyone.
The language is in different ways.
Mine is not. Don't go there. Don't buy me.
Okay. According to Gary Chapman, the five love languages. Let me quickly put that on table now for people who are listening. The first one, like Tolu mentioned, is words of affirmation. When you say things like, "Oh, you look good," "Oh, you've done well," "You look beautiful today," "Oh, I really appreciate you." There are people who get on that. They appreciate that. They love that. They want you to do that. So if you're dating somebody like that and you give them gifts, you don't give them words of affirmation, you're gonna be in trouble. The second one is quality time. Yes. Some people appreciate that when you spend quality time with them. So if you buy all the gifts in the world, buy the word for them, they're not gonna like it. Or if you like from today to tomorrow, keep telling them you look beautiful, you don't spend time with them. And quality time for some people means that all your time For instance, when you're together, no phone, no TV, no newspaper, no novel, just you and I.
Yes.
Just look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. So there is also giving gifts. Tolu has mentioned that giving gifts. Some people touch them. If you like, touch them from today till tomorrow. They don't care. They want their gift. You must buy gift on birthday, buy gift on Valentine, buy gift on Christmas, buy gift for that. You just love it. They just get over that. And then there is the fourth one is act of service. Yeah. They want you to help them. Maybe, for instance, you're a man, you're married, and then you wake up in the morning. Before your wife wakes up, you've done the cleaning, you've mopped the house, you've done the cooking, and then she wakes up to the food on the dining table. So some people, that is what, or as a wife, you could maybe before your husband wakes up as well, you clean the car. What's wrong about that?
I can.
What's wrong with that? Yeah. What's wrong with that? Some women do it. No way. You just want him to be happy. And then the last one is physical touch. Yeah, people get up on that. Yeah. You know, they love PDA, public display of affection. You know, some people don't like it. They want you to hold their hands, hold them in public. Even some people, even at home. If you check bedroom now, there are some women like that. There are some men like that.
In terms and conditions applies.
No.
What do you mean by that?
Terms and condition applies is that the children are there, so there's a condition for the touching. Term that at this point in time, no touching. So it applies to us. Terms and condition applies at this time when the children
what is wrong in holding hands while your children are there? Even kissing.
Yes.
Do you know that it also affects the way when they grow up, it affects the way they also show love.
Exactly.
Yes,
if you grew up in a house, in a home where
well, I think there should be a limit.
Where the only place they show love is the other room.
The other room.
So you may not you may grow up and become Steve as well. Former. The only place you want to get down is the other room.
I don't think we are going into that now, but I want to say that the society we are in now, it's making most of these parents be extremely careful with what they display in front of the children, because there are some children that was yesterday my mommy and my and they want to learn after them. So
do you think the fact is, even if the parents don't show it, the media and
we'll show it.
So we need to take responsibility. Let them understand that this is mommy and daddy, but this is the things that it's for adults. But when you don't do it, they assume that if they don't do it at home, anybody can teach. If you don't teach your children, the world will teach them.
You know, some kids would even wonder, how did mommy and dad conceive me? How did they conceive me?
I got that question recently.
Real life.
I was like, okay, I'll explain. Don't worry. So I took my time to explaining. Just modifying it for them so they can understand. So they left me alone, so I can be on my own. Mommy, your stomach is actually coming out. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Even though there is a limit to what you can, display in front of them, but I feel it's still okay to let them know that.
Of course,
it is not wrong. It also helps them.
And I also feel that's where sex education begins. We need to teach our children these things. We're talking rape and all of that, but these young children say,
God bless you, Tolu. I think it also teaches kids, especially boys, self-control.
Yes.
Self-control. Some guys you can't even brush past them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Many of these things started. You see those kids, they'll say they are doing mommy and daddy. And they put themselves in a corner and then they start practicing things. If you don't say it, you don't talk about these things to them. These are the things that only parents do, only adults do. But you just assume that let them live in
I don't know where to stop.
They won't. They will be hiding these things from you. They will have boyfriends and girlfriends. They won't tell you because they feel like you're too holy. Mommy and daddy doesn't touch themselves. If I tell them that this is what I do, they'll see me as a bad child. They'll flog me for it and all of that.
Great.
So
let me ask Tinola. How do you think you can understand your partner's love language? For instance, you want to know this person you're dating or you're married to, you want to know what the person really appreciates. How do you know that?
Actually, I think for you to understand your partner love language, the first thing you need to do is to study your partner properly. Then you will try a lot of things. For example, you're this kind of person that your partner likes food, like food. Even if you do something so bad, when you give him food, probably you will overlook whatsoever you have done.
You will calm down.
Yeah, you will have to calm down to understand what your partner is actually looking for. Probably your partner is another, you know his weak point is food. Like some people said gift, some said money and others. And you understand that
and some melt on the when you touch them. They just melt.
But if you understand that your partner's weak point is food, you need to calm down first to understand that fact. Because if he's annoyed and you're giving him gift or water, it won't solve the problem. But the first thing you need to do is to calm down, understand your partner, understand what this guy wants and what this girl wants, or what this guy does not want, or what she does not want. So I think the first thing to do is to calm, to understand what he or she wants. That's the first thing. Then the second thing I think you can do to understand your partner properly is to open up, tell your partner a lot of things, talk to your partner. You guys should discuss more and
ask
more.
Questions.
Yes,
what they
ask
like.
questions, what they like and what they don't like. Because if you're trying to keep something away from your partner, I guess there will be a problem. Mm-hmm. Then to understand your partner love language and your partner love language, you need to be this kind of person that is kind of calm and respectful. For every partner, you have to be calm, you have to be respectful. Then you should know how to place things down. Not baby, I want to buy this, and baby say, okay, baby, calm down, it's not your time, or something is actually going on. Then you be like, me, I cannot wait. You have to be fast. No, you have to calm down, listen to his or her own opinion.
Okay, Tolu, you know that, oftentimes in relationship, or let me say sometimes in relationships, good intentions may not really matter. Good intentions may be misconstrued. You may have a good intention for taking a certain action, and then your partner does not see it that way because it does not gel with their love language. For instance, today is their birthday, for instance. Today is your girlfriend's birthday, and then you go to a mall. Why going home? You buy this big, because you feel she likes baking, and then you buy this big cake mixer. Okay. And then you take it home. What she wants is to be in your arms, for you to hold her, to say sweet nothings, whisper sweet things into her ears, and melt her out.
What is a sweet nothing?
and then, so, like I said, good intentions may be misunderstood.
Yeah.
Now, for somebody like that, she said you have to calm down, try and take your time. Do you agree that it is possible to be in a relationship or in a marriage with somebody for a very long time, and what you think their love language is may not really be their love language? Is it possible?
It is possible. One, because understanding love language goes beyond just living with somebody. You yourself, you have to take your time to understand people. It's beyond because we are married, I must understand you. Some people are not good at reading characters, reading personalities. Being colleagues at work, I should be able to understand your personality by just coming down and studying you. So if you're good at studying people's character, you definitely understand your partner well enough. So the conversation is just beyond, say, because we are married or because we are dating. It's an individual thing. Can you as a person, study people around you and understand when to speak, when not to speak, when to give, it's human relation or human relationship. So that's it. And by the way, I like food, but that's not my love. That's not, it doesn't stand as a love language. So I feel that it has a lot to do with studying human.
Okay, so for instance, women do this a lot. I'm watching my favorite TV show. I don't want to be distracted.
Exactly.
Or disturbed. And then they come with their stories. They are little gossip.
Oh, God.
And then I'm trying to pretend not to be, I'm pretending to be interested.
In this
but I'm not so interested. I'm like, okay, and she does not know that, okay, you won't take my attention away from that TV. Your gossip may not do it because that is not my thing. What may do it for me may be for you to touch me. That could make me leave my TV show.
Yeah.
Now, in relationships like that, how would you advise those involved?
It depends on the individuals. Now, both persons have two different interests. There is an high, at the peak. You want to watch TV.
So
She wants to discuss.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to
One has to be mature than the other. One has to be able to tell that, okay, if I slow it down, if I talk back to her and I say, okay, I want to watch my TV now, how would she receive it?
She's not going to like it.
She's not going to like it.
I have to pretend
and she also has to look at it that if I demand for this conversation, he's not going to like it. Who has more elasticity to, accept the other? The both of you have been living for years or dating for, so you can tell that, okay, as a man, you don't go there. I mean, maybe it's the guy that would be very angry, so just try as much as you can. If I am in that shoe as a man, if she's trying, body language will let her. I'll give her some body language to let her know.
Because I'm talking about just one word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Yes.
I give her some, but if she doesn't understand, I'll tell her straight. You see, this thing you're talking about is very interesting, but I'll be deceiving you honestly.
If I tell you I'm listening.
To tell you that I'm listening. So you know what? This stuff I'm watching, it will finish in the next 30 minutes. Please just save me. I'll give you all of the time later in the bedroom.
Tolu, do you know I know some women after that TV show, if you go back to her and say, that
It's very possible, but maturity has to be in play. We cannot all be the both of us being the alpha of the house. Somebody has to bend for the other, and that's where, if we want this love thing to work, it's not by demanding and demanding. You have to learn how to give as well, and be easy on your partner sometimes.
I'll quickly chip in something. I feel for me, you as the woman should by now understand, especially when you're married, that this time is for him. No go area. Even if the kids are about going to daddy to disturb, kids, come over, let's see cartoon together somewhere else. You understand? Let it just leave him at that time, or you can even join him. You're not interested, but you just want to be, because there'll be a time, the empty nesting period. He'll leave you alone. You don't know much about what he loves, and he'll be watching. You're like, I need this guy's attention. The kids are no longer there. It's better you fit into it. So after he's through with whatever he's saying, you guys can talk.
So I want to ask you a question. Love languages before you get married and after marriage, does it change?
For me, it didn't change from experience.
I don't think it changes for people.
It didn't.
What I just know is that it is possible for you to have two.
Yes.
You have more than one.
Yes.
You have two
Only
love
that
languages.
during marriage,
You could
maybe
love
one
gifts
or two came up.
and also love words of affirmation. So
Yeah.
now let me ask, Ifeanyi, how do you, on your own, understand your own love language? Because I've met people who don't really understand their own love language. If you ask them, what do you really like? They don't know.
Yeah. So you want me now to confess my sins? Okay, for me, I love it when I'm dressed in the morning, or I make a hair and
I'm not talking about you now.
Okay.
If you are to advise anybody,
Okay.
how can they understand their own love language? That this is my own love language.
This is what
when he does it as a
This is
woman.
what gets me now.
Yes, when your man does that to you, or say something or bring gifts, you will know it because it makes you happy deep down in you. You will know. There's the way you will know that this guy just got to me now. Maybe you got home and everywhere is clean. In fact, that day you'll be singing his praises. You will know because it gets you happy, it gets to you. And any other thing he demands,
That's act of service. Cleaning the house.
any other thing he demands.
You
So
give.
whatever.
You give. Sharp.
Yes, because he got to you, and that's how
And you want to get to him
So that's one way to understand your love language. And before then, you guys have dated for a couple of months or weeks, so you will have gotten used to what he does.
So Tinola, what is your own love language?
Actually, I don't have.
It's impossible. There's nobody who does that.
Okay.
Or you don't know.
It's not as if I don't know. As I've said earlier, number one, food.
So you like food?
I like food.
Where can we put that? Is cooking for you or what? It's act of service. Yeah, that should be act of service.
And then possibly when you do the clean, because if you stay from morning to night and you're telling me you're beautiful, you don't need to tell me. I have a mirror. I don't need it. But when you walk, when you go clean the house, not every time, but there are some times when you go to work and you come back, you be like, ah, God, how will I wish this place? How? And you just get inside the room.
Everything is done.
Boom.
Yeah.
Happy.
Don't say that on here, please.
Sorry, you.
Don't use that word.
Sorry, you will be very,
No
very,
four-letter
very,
words.
very sorry for that. You'll be very, 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 very happy. And again, you enter the kitchen saying, okay, since he has cleaned the house, now let me get food. Then you open the cooler, you be like, babe, your food is ready.
Yeah.
Did I eat it? So what else?
So
then?
if it was yours, if it was yours, what's your own love
I
language?
love acts of service.
Okay, that's the only one.
I really love it, and not all this.
Feel free to say it. Feel free to say it.
Not all this.
We don't bite.
No, not all this. Not all the time. Touch. But there are some parts of the touch things that I
like.
love.
And I love. Tolu, what's yours?
I like words of affirmation.
Okay.
And act of service.
Oh,
Those
okay.
two together.
Why is everybody talking about
What about
It's
touch?
important.
That touch.
doesn't look like the touch.
That touch, yeah. I beg.
Well, I have a question.
Where's yours?
What's yours?
Yes,
What's yours?
Well, I think I like act of service.
Okay, is that the only one?
Quality time.
Oh, quality time. Okay.
Like it.
You mean
What's yours?
So yesterday, let me say. So yesterday, I'm answering you. I'm trying to answer. So yesterday, I was on this website. What's that website? www.psychologist.co.uk/test. Then I think / what's your love language? Yeah, people who are listening can go there. There's a test you can take there that will tell you your love language. www.psychologist.co.uk /test, and then / what's your love language. So I took this test yesterday.
Okay, so
And I don't really look that part. Sometimes we don't even know ourselves.
As a trip.
So, for instance, I love act of service. I love physical touch. Okay, it is good. In fact, that's the only way. If you want to take me away from what I love, that's the only way you can get my attention.
The hands and your.
Yeah, like rest on me. Let me feel all the good parts.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not say. Let's take another musical break. It's still Pain's Love for Family on Adaba 88.1 FM. We're talking understanding your partner's love language. Okay, 23 minutes before 2 from the studios of Adaba 88.1 FM. It's still Pain's Love and Family, and we're talking understanding your partner and your love language. Okay, so you just listened to the music of Be With Us, and that one is called End of Sunshine. Okay, so I read something online, and they were trying to give suggestions about some of these 5 love languages, suggestions about how you can go about it when you know yours or your partner's love languages, and how you can go about it. Like the first one that Tolu mentioned, words of affirmation. Okay, I found this online. It says, for instance, you can thank them for cooking a tasty meal. The food is delicious. You can congratulate them for losing weight. You can leave an encouraging note when they have a big presentation at work, just to encourage them. You can remind them how capable they are. You can compliment their outfit, their hair. You can send them a text just to say you were thinking of them. Words of affirmation. And then quality time. The suggestion says, one, you can eat together, maybe in the morning, or maybe you can go out for lunch. Maybe if you walk in the same area, you can go out for lunch. Okay. You can set aside 10 minutes to catch up on phones. But I don't think if you walk in the bank, you'll be able to do that.
It depends on the nature of your job.
Yeah, you can plan a date night. You can always maintain eye contact when you're having a conversation with them. For those who love quality time, You can take a walk together, maybe in the evening, you know. You can go to bed at the same time, you know. I know some people like they don't want to go to bed alone. You want to go to bed by force with them.
Exactly.
So,
Don't chat in
then
bed.
those who love receiving gifts, suggestion you can, you know, buy them ticket to a game if those who love. For instance, if your husband loves football and there's Sunshine
Bye.
Football Club, follow him and go and yeah. So here's some of the suggestions for act of service. Says you can get your car washed. I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
You can pick up their dry cleaning. You can fill up their gas tank. Buy fuel. You can do their laundry. My wife does that. I think you can pack their lunch. I think every woman does that. Yeah, you can. If they need to bring a present to a party or event, help them by picking out the present, and then physical touch. You can cuddle while you watch TV. Always kiss hello and goodbye. Or when they come back from work, kiss them, you know, welcome them. You can rub their neck after a long day.
Yeah.
You know. Treat them to a back rub. Yeah, you were getting saying.
I think I'm starting to enjoy this.
You can gently rest your hand on their lower back at a party. You know, a man can do that to a woman. You can touch toes. You know, touch each other's toes with your toe touches toes with yours while you're laying in bed. You know, you can hold hands on a walk. You know, you can put your arm around them at a concert. So
that part where you said filling the gas.
you can't do that.
I've never had, no, I don't know. Maybe I'll start. You know, women, you're fond of when you take the
Even when you buy
out.
a car for them, and they'll still tell you,
So, yeah,
they want
Or
get
maybe
money.
when they take your car
Yeah, for
out.
fuel from you.
And it runs out of fuel.
They call you agbe moto yin o ti bàjẹ́ sí òyìnbó kúrò lò ẹ fi mechanic yin o mọ́tò tẹ gbogbo ewu àkú dá tẹ́lẹ̀. O mẹ́.
We will change. Don't worry.
I want to ask a question.
Okay.
How can knowing your love language help your relationship?
Okay. Should I take the first
Yes.
one? I think if you know your own love language, for instance, now I know that I love.
You told us.
That one I told you. Now, if you know it, your own love language, it can help you, you know, how to relate with your partner. So you can talk like she mentioned, Tindora mentioned that, Tolu mentioned that. You can talk to them about what you like, what you really like. So in fact, that's the essence of a relationship anyway, communication. So talk to them. All these gifts that you buy, while I appreciate your gifts,
Might not be the in thing
that one does not get me. So it helps you to, it helps your partner to be able to love you more, or to love you better. And then if you know theirs as well, you know how to love them. So you don't take actions, like I said earlier, that good intentions can be misunderstood. You don't take actions that you think, how could it? For instance, you go and, like, let me give you an instance. There was this day I was, when I bought a new gas cooker. My wife was expecting a new washing machine. So I was happy, taking home a new gas cooker. And then I drove into my compound, put it out of by myself.
I should check what is written on the back.
With
your touch mind.
Oh my God. I thought she was going to be excited when you came out. The washing machine here. Cooker. I don't need to leave. I was shocked. I couldn't move.
You carry it yourself again.
The following month, I bought washing machine.
And you see the excitement.
So it helps. It helps.
Okay.
So, but let's say this. Do you think that because you, for instance, now you love physical touch, should that be an excuse for you? I say, okay, what my partner appreciates is physical touch. Because of that, I'm not going to buy him gifts. He does not love gifts. Should that be?
No. I think the 5 love languages can come together. There are times, all of us here, outside there, those people listening to us, all these 5 we do them.
Yeah.
It's just that the percentages allotted to them are different.
Yeah.
So there is no way, there's no point in time you would have bought a gift for your partner that, okay, take this. He might not
Or
really
compliment them.
or just say, you look good. How was work today? You look so tired. And so there is no way. All these 5 love languages.
So you
one
should
way
do.
or
You
the
should
other.
do all. You should not use it as an
Yes.
excuse. Okay. Okay.
Okay, back to what the question you asked.
Yes.
Okay. What it can do, the love languages, it can help reduce tension.
In the home, yeah, I agree with that.
And it could also serve as a grease to a cranky hinged door. For instance, ours here, when you grease it, it moves freely.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way thing.
There'll be no friction in the home.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Or less friction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less friction.
Less friction
Yeah,
because you
yes.
can't help but always. Once in a while, you
Both of you are
always.
speaking from the married.
I think honestly, I was gonna ask this question from another angle.
Okay.
I think understanding love language is not sufficient to take or to deal with issues in the home. It helps, that's true, but the danger there is that the moment I know this is your love language, I can use it against you. Because, for instance, we're single. For instance, I'm talking about myself and Tina, and then I realize that this is a particular love language that she has, and I want her for wanting sake, not because I necessarily love her.
Yeah.
I can capitalize
Come back
on
on that.
exactly doing what she likes.
And
I
get
don't
her.
but that will get to her. So, as much as love language is a tool to salvage a home, it could also be a tool for destruction. So we have to understand that we are talking about love language from the angle of helping you ease some challenges in your
relationship.
But that is not the crux. That is not the almighty solution to all of this. Because if a man and a woman, they are together as married couples and the love is not there, they can still keep showing that love language thing we're talking
Yes.
about. But the real thing is missing. So
Look, I disagree. You know why I disagree? I don't think you're getting it.
okay.
Why I say that is this: if you understand their love language, that means, and you do it as an act of service. For instance, you know your wife loves gift, and you do that. Let's say, for instance, a marriage that is on the brink of collapse.
Okay.
Why do people have friction and arguments in their marriage? Because the wall of the communication is broken down, and they're not getting through to each other.
There's an imaginary wall.
Oh yeah, so they're not getting through to each other. And oftentimes when you listen to what people complain about, it is from their love language. For instance, if I tell you, you don't clean the house.
Okay.
The house is always dirty. That's from act of service.
Okay.
You want her to clean the house.
Okay.
A Bible says you don't help out. You just sit before the TV. You expect your food. She wants him to do something, to pull his weight around the house. That is act of service. You don't listen to me. When I try to talk to you, you don't listen. You don't pay attention. You're pressing your phone. That's quality time. So you find that most of the problems that happen around the home
Is around.
they are centered around this.
Okay.
So if people in relationships or in marriage can now take a step further and say, oh, okay, this is what Tolu likes, my boyfriend. This is what he likes. Okay, I'm going to start doing it. This is what my girlfriend likes. I'm going to start doing. That does not mean I'm not going to still do the other things or that fall under the 4 other love languages.
Yeah.
And when you do that, so there'll be less complaints, less arguments. Yes. Yeah, because as human beings, we're not perfect.
Yeah.
So, for instance, now you know that I love gift.
Yeah.
It is not every time
Yeah.
that you remember
Of
to
course.
buy that gift.
Of
So
course.
whether you love cleaning the house, it is not every time. Sometimes the woman is tired. She may not remember to cook and all of that. So it is not every time. So, but then, if she has always done it, let's say for instance 80 or 70% of the time she has always done it, even when he or she does not do it, you know that it is no longer, it is not intentional.
Intentional, yeah.
So at that time, you're ready to be understanding, to show some understanding and say,
Yeah.
okay, my wife is not like this, my boyfriend is not like this, and ready to do what? To cut them that slack.
I quite agree with you. But you know, where I'm trying to be careful with is that we should not make it absolute, in the sense that if the challenge is coming from the angle of love language, not understanding yourself, it will solve the problem. But take a scenario of a man whose love language is act of service or gifts, and the woman is 100% at that, but yet he has a problem about cheating. Now, it's not because she's not doing her love language that this man cheats.
Now, let me cut it. Let me cut it. Okay. There's a problem there.
Yeah.
The problem is this. You know, sometimes you know, sometimes, because let's say, for instance, now your own love language is giving gift.
Yeah.
You know, there are people, because they love that, they assume that their partner is also going to like that.
That's
for instance, you mentioned cheating. No woman would love to share a man with anybody.
True.
So that not cheating on your wife, staying true to her is act of service. It's quality time. Do you agree?
I do. You don't get it. I don't know if anybody understands.
I do. What you're saying is that, for instance, what you're saying to Lou is that, for instance, okay, she's doing everything that the man wants, and the man is cheating. That means the man is not doing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the problem is not with the woman. The problem is with the man.
It's with the man.
So what I'm saying now is that the man is not carrying out the wife's love language, and that's why I'm coming in. That every woman loves quality time. So quality time is me staying with you. I know there are guys who stay with their wives, who spend quality, who still cheat, but not cheating is act of service. This commitment, because commitment falls under act of service. That means I'm committed to you. When you say for better or worse on the day of your marriage, I know it's not always easy, but then it's commitment, and that commitment requires maturity. It requires self-discipline, and I always tell people that. And it requires a higher commitment. Let me put it that way. A higher commitment. That is why I tell everybody you must have a higher calling that you answer to. I tell people, if I don't cheat on my wife, I'm just giving her as an instance. It is not because I so much love her that
there are no temptations out there.
That there are no temptations that I cannot cheat on her. It is not because I have that self-discipline that I cannot cheat on her. You understand?
Yeah.
It is because I'm scared that if I cheat on her, how is God going to see me? So that is where answering to a higher calling comes in. So every time I go down on my knee to want to pray to God, or every time I'm in one corner, I want to say, God, I bless you. I want to do. It comes to my mind. It checks me. Let me tell you, for a man, I don't know if it happens to women too, but I've had that happens to them. It's a struggle. Going out every day, you see beautiful women, you see women who be better, who are more beautiful, who are better looking than your wife. And women also see that, who are even more, who show more understanding than their husbands. Now, why would I not date those other women? It is not because I have self-discipline. I have self-discipline, but it is not that self-control that is holding me. That is my own case. So I don't lay claim to any self-discipline. So it is not that the love I have for her, because it is 100% that is holding me. What hooks me in my own instance, this is just my own personal opinion. In my own instance, is that I have to answer to somebody, and that somebody is God. So every time I know that this is going to affect my relationship with God. So every time I go to my corner and pray, it's telling me
there is nothing asking you a question.
It's not. God is not going to answer you. He's not listening to you.
I agree with you.
So he checks me.
And let me just hold it here and say, if, for instance, a woman comes to meet me and say, I'm having an issue in my marriage, my husband cheats a lot, and I tell her, go and understand your husband's love language, and she goes back, she understands, she does everything she can, the man is still cheating, and she comes to meet me that he's still doing that.
The problem is not her. It's not on her.
Exactly. That's
what I've said. This. We're saying the same thing to Lou. That the problem is not with her. The problem is with the man. That's the man. That's what I'm saying. That the man now, on his own part, must show commitment.
Exactly.
And it is not the woman's fault. Some men, if you give them his word, they are going to cheat.
They still could
They will cheat. And you will shock to Lou. They date uglier women.
It's not even like
that's the thing. Stupid thing, you know.
It's
Well,
kind of
I don't
unfortunate.
think we can exhaust this topic. People are online. They want to
Okay.
and
we have
our
to take calls.
opinion and like let me say something about my own love language. So let's listen to your opinion for the few minutes we have before we go on the program. 08162519991. 08162519991. We're waiting for your call. And what's your love language and how do you think these love languages can help reshaping your relationship?
Okay, we're not getting them yet. They're still falling.
And we can keep talking.
Yeah, I was gonna say something too. During the break when I said I think love language is beyond just the love.
Yeah.
Your lover, even people outside.
Yeah. Outside you. At work.
Yeah, they also show you these things, and it can
Because people are different.
exactly.
So you have to relate with them differently.
Can I be open to you, Dimeji? When I do something, I said, Ify, well done. You know,
It gets to you.
Whoa. You understand? It gets to me. Though it may be different from what you expect in your home. So it's not you're not expected to be touched at the office. That's for your home. So it's actually different.
That's true.
But
That's true.
love language
And we have to be careful.
Yeah.
Some people they lose themselves.
They lose
forget
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah.
And somebody's touching you. It's not your husband, but you're already feeling.
I think you have to make your love language a secret.
See, in a workplace,
Yeah.
I think people should define their relationship. Oh, yeah, people say that thing. Define your relationship so as not to be confined. I feel that women at work are not setting enough boundaries, so to say. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
We're fine. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
This is Olubright, and I'm calling from Unity Quarters here in Akure.
Okay, so go ahead, Olibright. Let's hear it.
Thank you. I've listened attentively to you, and I quite enjoy you. Every one of us learn the lesson of what we are saying. But my own contribution is that it is not good for the couple to be visiting themselves. So the two of them have to understand themselves as usual. So if there's any skeleton in the cupboard, at least it's not all go well for the two parties. So the best bet for them to understand themselves. That's my own take.
Thank you very much for calling. Maybe we'll have time to take just one more call. 0816-251-9991. 0816-251-9991. That's the number to call. Let's hear it. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please, what's your name?
It's Bishop Ison from Sabogudawa in Edo State.
Bishop, please fire away.
Thank you very much. Let me first of all appreciate all of you there.
God bless
People
you.
are so well and very intelligently. The truth about the matter is that it takes the grace of God for somebody not to cheat. So, like your other guy there said, that prayer is very necessary. You kneel down, you pray, so that all temptations you'll be able to avoid them. And that's why here the Lord's Prayer is very important. Many people have jettisoned it, but that is the prayer Jesus Christ handed over to all of us. So that should be the first prayer in the morning. Thank you. God bless all of you.
All right. God bless you. Thank you for calling.
It's a love language.
Okay, so I think that's all we'll be able to take as far as calls are concerned. Time is fast spent. So, Tinola, any last word before we go?
Actually, what I'm going to say is, for everybody in a relationship or in any love affair, understanding your love language is very important because one, it brings peace, it brings understanding.
Thank you very much, Ifeanyi.
Yeah, I'm gonna say keep that man or keep that woman of yours Simple as that, just with your
I'm
love.
okay, you want Angoro.
This is going to the guys out there. The fact that you understand her love language doesn't mean you should use that to take advantage
Against
of her.
her.
Respect her
Yeah.
and her opinion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pope.
that's true.
Pope Tolu.
Oh God.
Jimmy. Okay. Thank you very much for being part of the show. It's been wonderful. On today's edition of Pains Lover Family. My name is Temidayo Fadayini. Next Friday, we hope to return from Olajumoke.
Yes, know your love language to make you communicate better. And from that end, we say thank you to Adekunle Adeomi for standing by. Next week is
Star
another
producer
time.
now.
Yes, my name is Olajumoke.
Producer to sharp, blah,
Omotoso.
blah.
Communicate well with your partner.
Adaba 88.9 FM.